Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast. I'm your host, Nate Palmer. And if you're here, it's probably because you're a high performer, real estate agent, or entrepreneur that's interested in maximizing your physique, your finances, and your family time using fitness and nutrition as force multipliers in your life. If you're not already a part of the Facebook group, definitely go to n8trainingsystems.com. Whoa, here we go. There it is. Technical difficulties, but n8trainingsystems.com/group if you want to join the group. This is where we stream the podcast episodes every week. You can join in and ask questions. There's a ton of cool stuff happening in the group, as well as a massive amount of free information and resources. So if you're looking for something that you can do at home, well, if your gym is closed right now, go to the group and just drop a comment that says home gym, and I will hook it up. Again, go to n8trainingsystems.com/group to join us there. Before we get started, one of the big things we like to do is give a shout out to the people accomplishing awesome stuff in the MDB community. And right now, I want to give a shout out to Julie Davis. Julie's been paramount to my success in business. She's been helping me with a ton of social media stuff. So if you need any help with your social media, hit her up. She is part of this group. But she recently just hit the lowest weight that she's hit in 7 years, following just a couple easy principles of the $1 Million Body framework. One of those principles we're going to be talking about today, and I can't wait to dive into it. Okay, so today I promised to chat about one simple thing that you can do to feel better, to move better, to burn fat, to de-stress, to boost your immune system, and it doesn't require any equipment. Now, for the we got a couple great comments. A couple people said sleeping. Yes, definitely one of those things. Got to give a shout out to Karis Kimmel. She said walking. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So before you be like, oh, walking, heard of it, been there, got to check out some new research that I just heard about in terms of fighting illness. Okay, one of the big illnesses that we're talking about today is COVID. A lot of people may have heard of it before, but I have not really mentioned it because I'm not an infectious disease specialist. I have very little to say about the topic. I generally go with what the scientists tell us. But again, I'm not an expert, so I don't talk about it. Hashtag stay in your lane. So one of the things that I wanted to chat about today is some research I was just reading that I had heard from Shawn Stevenson, Dr. Shawn Stevenson, who had talked about boosting your immune system via walking. And he had mentioned that it's just a 10-minute walk can boost your immune system to help you fight off COVID. But here's the research that I read. Was something that came out in the Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise journal a couple of years back. But it was basically an immune response to a 30-minute walk. And what we saw was that it seems as if, and this is just kind of some extrapolation based on the data that I read, is that children are not as affected by COVID as adults are. And one of the reasons that scientists say is the cause of that is because children have a higher prevalence of NK cells or natural killer cells. And on top of that, one super simple way to boost your own prevalence of NK cells, similar to an infusion that you would get from like an IV, is by going for a 10-minute walk. Now, the study I read said that a 30-minute walk is the way to go. But Shawn Stevenson had said that 10 minutes will get you there. But basically, either way, what we want to be doing and something that we can easily, tangibly focus on, especially since we're all at home right now, we're not really traveling for the holidays, we're not doing a whole lot, we're not going to a lot of people's houses, we have a lot more time. Let's just get some more walks in. There's one thing that we can do without adding in supplements or taking any other like medication or anything like that, that's going to boost our immunity, keep us healthier long-term, protect the people around us, and give us a host of other benefits that I'm going to go into in just a second. Just a 10-minute walk can do that for you. Why would we not do that? Even if it was not even out of regard for ourselves, we don't like ourselves, we don't want to be healthy, we hate feeling good. Maybe that's you, I don't know. But why not for everyone else around you, for the people you come into contact with on a daily basis, for your family members? Taking a walk can be one of the easiest ways to boost your immunity, boost your prevalence of NK cells without having to step foot into a doctor's office, urgent care, ER, or hospital in any way. So it's just a no-brainer. And I think that honestly, if rather than putting it like I hate the media, I hate the news. I feel like the news does two things. Number one, it sells ads and it spreads discord, okay? And the reason it spreads discord is because people get angry or fearful, they watch more news. And when they watch more news, they sell more ads. So it's this self-perpetuating cycle of bullshit that is based off of like someone else getting paid on our fear. So disseminating fake information, like talking about things that are so minutely correlated to what's currently going on, or just things that just scare us in general. For example, talking about like violent crime. Violent crime has been going down since basically the 50s. It's been decreasing year after year. But there's more videos taken of it because of the prevalence of social media and camera phones. So we see more of it. So the news shows more of it, which makes people more afraid of violent crime than we were in the 50s. So even though the crime rate is down, our fear of it is up. And that's just one example. You can take that and extrapolate that across whatever else you want to. But the media won't tell you, take a 30-minute walk, take a 10-minute walk per day, get your grandma out of the house and just take her for a quick walk around the neighborhood, because that's going to do more good than sitting indoors and being quarantined away from everybody else. So wear a mask, don't wear a mask, but get out and walk, because it's good for you. It's going to keep you healthy. It's going to keep your immune system boosted. It's going to boost your NK cells. It's going to keep you from it's going to help you fight off anything that you're getting. And NK cells aren't just good for fighting COVID either. They help you fight off colds, flus, other reactions that come up just this time of year anyway. So get out and walk. My challenge to you right now, take 10 minutes to walk every single day. It's it, 10 minutes to walk. I think that a 10-minute walk, if everyone started doing that every single day, could change the world. I do. I believe that wholeheartedly. So get out and walk. Take a 10-minute walk with your family. And whether that's just a once around the block, or maybe you can even go for an hour, whatever it is that you do, get out and walk, change your community, bring people with you. And I think you change the community, you change enough communities around the city, you change the city, you change enough cities around the nation, you change the nation, you change enough nations, you change the world, okay? So get out and walk with your families today, tomorrow, the next day, okay? My challenge for you, today's the 15th of December. When I'm recording this, get out and walk for the next 2 weeks. Get out and walk for the remainder of the month and see how you feel, okay? Now, walking is not just great for boosting NK cells. It's good for a lot of other things as well, okay? There's an Ayurveda practice called 100 steps is what it translates to. Basically, it says after every time you eat, walk 100 steps. Now, 100 steps, I prefer 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is magic after you eat. But what that can do is it can, again, increase your immune function, increase your prevalence of NK cells, but it's also going to help you digest your food more effectively, help you partition more of that food into muscle and less into fat. It's going to help you get into that parasympathetic rest and digest state a little bit better. And it's going to help you move your body more effectively and help realign things that may have been from sitting in front of the TV, in front of the computer, on our phones all day, coming out of alignment. Okay. So walking after a meal is the best time to walk, especially if you're looking to increase the amount of food and protein you're absorbing and putting into your muscles. If you want to decrease your fat gain, go for a walk after every meal. 10 minutes is all you need to do. It's magic, and it doesn't take anything, and no one's going to do it because it doesn't sound sexy as doing a cleanse, okay? But I swear to God, if you just do this for the next 15 days, you're going to feel better, you're going to look better, you're going to have more energy, you're going to burn more fat. It's so great, okay? Walking also has a ton of other health benefits. It increases your cardiovascular fitness, right? It's small, right? But your heart rate's going to be up. It's going to be up. Mine generally sits around to 115 when I'm walking. It doesn't feel like much. It's not that hard, but it's so good for your cardiovascular and your pulmonary system, your lungs, okay? Walking decreases your risk of heart disease and stroke. And there's a couple reasons for that. And one of them is just de-stressing, getting out and moving your body, taking some breaths of fresh air is an amazing way to decrease your stress levels, which is going to decrease your risks of heart disease and stroke. Another study that was done in 2013 by the Loyola University Health System actually says you're going to decrease your stress even further by walking in the woods. So I don't know if you have woods around you. I don't. I live in the desert. But just walking in nature is going to be more beneficial for you from a stress perspective. As my good buddy Tim Rhodes likes to say, get the goods in the woods. So he is someone I definitely look up to because That guy gets out into nature every single day. And it's something I so respect and want to design my life to emulate that, because that I just feel like is such a great way to increase your happiness, decrease your stress levels. And if you know Tim, you know he's one of the most happy, easygoing, just like great gregarious guys to be around. So if like success leaves clues, right? So get the goods in the woods, take a walk outside. And plus, you know, Loyola Marymount, Loyola University health system says so. So good for you guys. Another thing is increase management of hypertension, your high blood pressure. It decreases high cholesterol. It decreases joint and muscular pain. It decreases the prevalence of diabetes. All of these things, because it's going to help us manage our insulin sensitivity and resistance better, which means that our body's going to get better at using carbohydrates to build muscle, and less are going to get stored as fat. Just so important for our longevity, for feeling good, for not storing belly fat, for not having to go do another cleanse or whatever else because we're just moving a little bit more. Walking also increases our bone strength, decreases osteoporosis, osteopenia, okay? It gives us improved balance. One thing that you can do to make this hard, if you're like, walking's too easy, put a weight vest on, put some books in a backpack, take that with you. Walking with a little bit of a load is a great way to improve your balance, increase your ankle strength, increase your knee strength and mobility, and make sure your hips are feeling really good. When you walk, you also walk in this cross pattern where your arms are going, you're at the opposite side as your legs, which is a great way for realigning your bone structure and making sure that you have a really great posture. So when you're walking, making sure your head is lifted, the crown of your head is lifted up, and then taking a lot of deep breaths, trying to fill the whole space of your lungs, exhaling everything out of your lungs. It just feels really good. You're going to feel amazing when you finish with it. Walking will also increase your muscular strength and endurance. You know, it's not the same as going and doing a bunch of heavy squats, but yeah, it's walking a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. If you've never done it before, you'll feel it after the day after. So get your level of fitness up to the point where walking 3 miles is not even a big deal for you. It's really important. Okay. And then walking also reduces body fat. Walking is such an amazing way to burn calories that it's going to actually help you with recovery and restoration rather than being a stressor. So going to the gym and jogging, doing heavy squats, these are all stressors, good stressors, but stress on your body nonetheless. And during the holiday season, you've got relatives in town, deadlines for work, you've got client dinners, you're putting together last minute contracts, you're about to do your own taxes. Do you have a tax person even? What's the difference between an LLC and the other options? It's hard to know. So when you have all that stress in your life, then we don't need more jogging, running, high stress, even if it's a eustress, positive stress. We want more stuff that's going to help us rest, relax, slow down, get into that parasympathetic nervous system state of rest and digest. And walking is a great way to burn calories while still staying in that parasympathetic nervous system state. That's slow, that stress relief. And so you can't put a price on recovery and calorie burn, especially if you're in a fat burning stage of your journey. So it's just all around, it's amazing. So my challenge to you once again is the next 2 weeks, every day, 10 minutes, okay? Literally the challenge is 10 minutes. Can you get on a walk 10 minutes? I think you can. And if you don't think you can, well, that's bullshit. And you should do it anyways, because that means you definitely need it. So walk 10 minutes, bring your family with you, tell people in your community, tag someone in this podcast, share it with somebody else, because this is an important message and no one's talking about it. This is an important message for the health of our cities, of our states, and our nation, and no one's talking about it. The news would rather report on scary, fear factory things rather than giving us one simple tip that can make the difference between life and death for somebody. So share this with it. Once again, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that based on the studies that I just read, and I can share them in the show notes here, walking will boost your immune system by increasing the prevalence of NK cells, and NK cells fight COVID. So that's just, in my mind, that's a no-brainer. Why wait? Let's get out and walk together. So with that, I'm signing off because I got to walk to take my family. I'll catch you guys later. Have an amazing rest of your day and enjoy your walk.